Now the left side is the center of the family life, the Griha Lakshmi, the goddess of the family, the household. You see. A person who runs after money too much forgets his family. He has no time for his family. A husband and wife may meet somewhere on the airport or may just wave at each other sometimes, you see, crossing each other. Or the children suffer the most. And in that case, the women also then take up with the men. They compete, what's wrong? They start copying men. And in doing so, when they compete with each other, then what happens? That this family life gets disturbed. The woman of the household is dissatisfied, her ego is not satisfied. In olden times, the man used to go in the jungle and get all the wood cut, bring it home, and give it to the wife, and wife used to cook. There was no problem because there was barter system. He could see her working in the household. Now the husband earns the money and the woman spends. I mean, that also requires some work, isn't it, to spend the money. But to man, it looks like that I'm the earning member and she's the spender. So she says, all right, I will also earn. But in this, too much of competition like this between the two, what happens? The family suffers, the children suffer. And such a person will have problem with the wife will have problem with the husband. And you can always feel that center on this finger. If that finger is catching, that means there's something wrong with your family relationship, that you have to adjust yourself and he has to adjust. It's an important thing. Because you are like the flowers which have to produce a fruit. That's what nature wants. Nature wants that you are there to produce the fruit, that is your children. That's why you are men and women. That's the basics. Now this Griha Lakshmi's center is on the left hand side, and the another is Raja Lakshmi center is on the right hand side. Now this center gives us the power to rule over people, and we become very, in extremes, you see, we can become very arrogant and we can become very, very sort of authoritative, and we might sort of end up with a funeral with 10,000 people behind us, all bought from market and put there behind you without any feelings. That's all, finished. With such a man finished, they say, oh, thank God he died. He was a horrible terror for us. So, that kind of a life can come with Raja Lakshmi. But in the center is the Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the goddess, is the power within us by which we balance, lead a very balanced life, by which we are satisfied. Now they have made a beautiful picture of this Lakshmi. Also one should understand this power is a lady, is a mother, and she stands on a lotus. Now these are all symbols which suggest that these symbols are carved out with such deep significance. She stands on a lotus. Means imagine who can stand on a lotus. And she's a very healthy woman, and she stands on a lotus. It means that she is never putting pressure on anyone. A rich man comes in, he must honk his car loudly because he's rich, so he thinks he must honk it higher. And a rich man must go in a big limousine or some sort of a thing to show off that he's very rich. If he comes to any program or they must sit in front, he should have the front seat, and he makes him known. Everywhere, everybody must feel the weight of the rich man. He can run away with 10 wives of somebody, and he can have a big boat for himself, and he can get any number of women there, and he can spoil any families he likes because he's rich. This kind of thing comes in people, but Lakshmi, the one who stands on the lotus, is the beauty and the glory of the riches that God has given that person. Then, it has got 2 red pink flowers in the hand that are lotus flowers again. Now the lotus is regarded as a very holy flower in India because it is so receptive to everything that is crude and funny. First of all, it is born in the mud. Just think of it. In the mud, in the filth, where the horrible smell is coming out, the lotus is born. And the one lotus gives the fragrance, the beautiful fragrance to the whole atmosphere, and kills all that filth and everything, and covers the whole pond with its big, big leaves, so that it looks a beautiful pond. That's what is the lotus for. But this lotus is a pink lotus, means pink, is the sign of love. Pink is the sign of love. So such a person has to have tremendous love and that softness of the lotus. Now the inside of the lotus is very soft and nice. And I don't know what you call that, the black bee, a very big one, which has got horrible, no, the black bee is like that, which has got angular legs and things like that. Horrible, you cannot touch it. That one can find its place in the lotus. When it goes to the lotus opens its petals and takes it inside and makes it sleep on the corona that it has, very soft one on the bed, and covers it nicely and gives it a nice, swinging feeling that it feels it is in the lap of the mother and it sleeps on. Even such an animal, it gives a place to live. Now the man who is a Lakshmipati, the one who is blessed with Lakshmi, has to have a temperament like that. Anybody who comes to his house, anyone, should be very readily accepted. I have seen people like that. I have seen in my lifetime. Should be accepted, and they should be very gratified to have such people in the house, and should feel that, oh God, what a blessing it is that we have a guest in the house. But in modern times, we find out devices and methods how to avoid guests. Guests are equal to pests. I was in London. We were living on Surrey Hills, and we had bungalows, separate bungalows, quite good bungalows, I should say. There were 7 bungalows. And poor husbands were taken to task for mowing the lawns and everything, and the wife used to tell them, now come along, do it properly. And the polishing of the brass, whatever was there, and everything was done very well. But I didn't see even a rat enter those houses. Even a rat. I mean, leave alone human beings. Nothing entered those houses, only these 2 persons used to come out and go in. And I don't know, they might be having some yearly, some sort of a get-together maybe. But nobody, while my house was naturally, I am like this, so it was open all the time. People would come in and go out and this and that, and I was just enjoying their company. And one day they asked me, what's the matter in your house? All the time people are coming and going, and we used to wonder what is it going on inside. I said, nothing, just they come, have tea and go. That's all, just some talk together, some rapport of love. But what is this, all the doors are closed? That way I must say, Sydney people are very open-hearted. And they like to be together. There is a togetherness in them. But with all this, if you cannot have togetherness to enjoy your wealth with others, then what's the use of all the wealth? If you have wealth, you go for horse racing. That's also your own enjoyment. If you have wealth, you will do something else which is so individualistic. You cannot enjoy your wealth unless and until you share it. As I told you the other day, that I am a capitalist in the sense I have all the powers within myself. But I cannot live without sharing it, so I am the greatest communist because I just cannot enjoy it. That's why I had to come all the way to Australia. And today my husband was so insistent that I should come back soon. I said, no, I have to meet all the Australians still, and then I'll come. So unless and until you share this love after realization, you do not enjoy. All isms drop out because you become combination of both extremes, and you just start enjoying yourself.